you know, there's a lot out there. You know, wherever you end up, it's not the end-all, be-all. You know, Rooster Teeth wasn't the end-all, be-all. Twitch might not be the end-all, be-all. You know, eventually, maybe I want to, you know, do something else, and I don't want to do this anymore. And, you know, there's no sense in settling. There's no sense in settling with your job or school or fucking whatever if you're not happy. You know, it's definitely worth it to be happy in life. And sure, you're gonna piss off some people, or you know, you'll make some people sad. But in the end, you have to take care of yourself before anyone else. You know, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and all that stuff. And you definitely want to be happy in life, and you shouldn't really care what anyone else says in regards to your happiness, because they may think you know. But they probably have no idea. And actually, there's a good quote here. Let me pull it up. It's something that Aaron Eagle Raptor said, and it was retweeted. Let me see if I could find it, because it's a very good quote. See if I can find it, and then we'll move on. Let me see. Oh God, Aaron, how long ago did you retweet this? I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. So I'm gonna link the quote in. Oh, actually, I'm gonna retweet it, and then I'll. Let me see if I can remember how to use Twitter for just 1 second. That'd be great. Let me see. How do I tweet? How do I tweet her? Okay. Here it is. So it says. This is from Aaron Hansen, obviously Eagle Raptor, and the quote is, "You can't open up the story of my life and just go to page 738 and think you know me." It's a good quote, man. Very good quote. Let me link it for you guys, so if you want to check it out. Oh, I just had it. Right here. Here we go. I don't know why it's taking me so long to figure out how to use Twitter. There you go, yeah. It's a good quote, you know. It's definitely something to think about. And Aaron is a smart guy. Underneath his goofy show, he's a very intelligent person. And yeah, you know, just kind of like a real talk with you guys after a serious game, kind of like that. Just something to think about, man. Just something to think about, whether you think, you know, if somebody you love is at some place you love and they leave. I keep using Spool because it just happened and it's relevant. You know, he in his Reddit thread, he said he wasn't happy. You know, he said he was lonely and stuff like that. And you know, eventually that gets to you. Sure, you may have one of the best jobs in the world, and obviously working at RT, Achievement Hunter Funhouse, is one of the best jobs in the world, but you know, eventually you go home, and I guess in his case, he was by himself, he lived by himself. You go home, and you know, you're just sad. You know, you have nothing to come home to. You miss your family. You miss your girlfriend. I think his girlfriend lives in Canada, for example. You know, you come home alone, you're just upset. And what you see on YouTube or on Twitch or whatever is not the whole story. You know, a lot of times, what you're seeing is a character, an exaggerated persona of said person, and you know, once the video stops and you stop recording, they kind of revert back to their person, their actual self. Great Beard of Zeus. Oh, Zeus, thank you for the sub. So Spool is unhappy. You know, obviously I don't know him that well, and I don't know the extent of how unhappy he was, but he was unhappy, so he wanted to do something, and he just wanted to be happy. You know, move back with his family, or I think he said he wanted to move back to the Pacific Northwest to be with his family. And like I said, if his girlfriend is from Canada, which I think she is, I could be wrong, then he'd be close to her. And you know, best of luck to him. I'm sure he'll be successful whatever he does. And you know, if you really do like that person as much as you say you do, you always want to wish them well, even if they are leaving your favorite, you know, your favorite group or whatever. Like with JonTron, I'm sure a lot of people were upset with both him and Aaron, and you know, obviously the whole thing wasn't dealt with properly, and of course people like to make up shit, or they try to figure out a lot of stuff when there's really no need to, and just people think they want to know everything. People feel like they're entitled to know everything. Entitlement is a big thing where, you know, these people have personal lives. These people, you know, there's a lot out there about these people. You know, sometimes they just want to have something happen and not have the whole world try to figure it out, or, you know, claw at them to try and get every detail. You know, just remember, you know, think if you were in their shoes, you know. Say your personal life is out there as much as some of us. You know a lot of things. I mean, you know, obviously our you know, who we are, who our family is, who our significant others are, and this, that, and the other thing. You guys know a lot. I mean, you guys know probably more about my childhood and my upbringing and some stuff than some people I know, like some high school friends, for example. So, you know, just remember, if you're prying for attention, or you're prying for information, that sometimes it's just, you know, it's just they don't want to give it to you, and you have to respect that. You have to respect these personalities and these people who entertain you for you know, hours and hours at a time. I mean, yeah, it's like free content. At the end of the day, it's just like fucking dick and fart jokes, and they're trying to entertain you and make you laugh, but at the end of the day, you have to remember that they are a person. You know, their on-screen personality may not be how they are off camera. I mean, me, for example, I'm exactly the way I am with you guys is how I am here. Obviously, I might be a little more tired after streaming or waking up or whatever, but being able to stream on Twitch allows me to be me. I don't have to play up a character or whatever. I don't have to spout these catchphrases, which I do anyway because I'm a filthy memer. But, you know, if you come and see me at a convention, you will get the same Ray you get here. You know, you're not going to get some piece of shit, you know, go fuck yourself Ray, or you're not going to get some super loud and over-the-top Ray in person, because this is just how I am. I mean, this is how I am, you know. If when you come to the stream, you see Ray, you don't see, I guess you don't see Brown Man, right? So yeah, that's it. I kind of went off on a tangent about nothing, essentially, but it's just a lot of people like to, you know, shitpost and troll and do all that stuff and try to be annoying, and just because they feel like they're entitled, and, you know, you're just not as entitled as you think you are. You're just a fan like hundreds or thousands or even millions of other people. You don't get any more special treatment than the other people. You know, just no matter how important you think you are, you know, you're just a fan like everyone else, and we obviously appreciate you, and, you know, I say we as a collective Twitch streamers, Let's Player community. We appreciate you. We appreciate you watching our content. We appreciate you taking time out of your day, whether it's 10 seconds or 10 hours, to watch us play games and try and be entertaining and make this, you know, make this a career and something that we can live off of, and support you support our families. I can support myself with Twitch better than I ever could at any point in my life. I can support my family if things get tough for them, and that is because of you guys. I wouldn't be able to do this, you know, if nobody watched, obviously, right? Like, and your generosity is overwhelming with the subs and the tips and all that stuff. So, you know, just remember. Just remember, you're not entitled to everything. And I know obviously 99.9% of you aren't the kind of people to prod and all that shit. But, you know, you're not entitled to as much as you think. And just remember that the people on screen are people too. They're just like you and me and everyone else. At the end of the day, you know, sometimes they just want to relax, or maybe they're just not happy. You know, maybe they're just not happy doing what they're doing, or maybe they're bored. You know, I was bored. I want to do something different. Spool said he was upset. He wasn't happy, and people move on. It's not the and I know I keep repeating myself, but it's kind of really just hit home. At no point in your life, besides death, I guess, is that it. You know, if you're at a dead-end job, it sucks, man, but there's definitely more opportunity out there. I mean, you know, if you're not happy at your current job, find another job. If you're not happy with your life, do your best to improve it. I know it's not easy. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. But there's definitely room for improvement. And I said this to my chat the other day. No matter what you decide, whenever you guys and girls decide to do in your life, I want you to be happy. I want you to be financially stable. I want you to be able to support yourself, your friends, your family. You know, obviously, I would like you to do it legally, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, maybe you're in a tough spot. And, you know, you have to do something you're not proud of. But you have to support yourself and your family. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just fucking talking out of my ass about nothing, but absolutely nothing. But yeah, that's the end of. I guess on that note, I'm gonna end the stream because nothing will surpass what the hell I just spouted on about. Ray's responsible for 2.2k people quitting their jobs tomorrow. Listen, if you're unhappy, you gotta do what makes you happy. If you're not happy in college, you know, leave, get a job. I wasn't happy in college. I said, fuck that. I worked toward, you know, I beat into my family. Literally, I beat them up and I kept telling them that this whole thing with me making videos is gonna work out, and I'm gonna, you know, work out Rooster Teeth and Achievement Hunter. And it took some time. It took 3 years. You know, but I finally got there. You know, if you're really determined and passionate about something, there's a very good chance it's going to work out. But yeah, so I have no idea what else to say on that topic. That was kind of all over the place. And I probably went off on like 16 different tangents. But yeah, that's we're going to end the stream there. Trex with the $5. Thanks for the deep words, Ray. We all love you. Hot Chocolatey Milk, thanks for cheering me up every day. You're the best and also inspiring. Thank you, Hot Chocolate Milk. Sonic Sound, I think I said thank you for the sub. Living Fantasy with $5. So real, the funny and serious. Whoops, my controller died. The funny and serious aren't separate. Whoops, my controller just flat out died. Ripperino. The funny and serious aren't separate, but that's what makes it awesome. Even a wee joke and a video game can keep you going. Thank you for sharing a part of your life for the rest of us. Happy to support you in your dream. Keep doing you, Ray. And Tactician Aaron with the last tip with the $5. Thank you so much for the inspirational words you have given us. I feel so much lighter in my chest thanks to you in the chat. You are amazing, and so are all your fans. Spread this love. Give everyone a hug. Give Tina a hug. Cherish life. That's true. At the end of the day, you just have to cherish life, man. Just cherish life, because life is really, really fucking short, and you just never know when. You just never know when it's gonna be over. So. The Brickson, you do your best work if you do a job that makes you happy. Bob Ross. Very, very good quote. Very, very good quote.